What's good, party people? This is Voodoo in the Woods. I'm According to Woods, and he is former U of MMA champion Pius Ina Lobo, better known as Voodoo Maximus. And we are reviewing, or previewing rather, the fight night, UFC Fight Night, Derek Lewis versus Chris Daukaus. I almost said Chris Lewis and Derek Daukaus because my fucking head is all out of whack. But Voodoo, how are you?
I'm doing great, my man. I'm doing great. I got a little work in today. I felt fantastic. Uh, we're gonna be getting 2 weeks off from work, so that means I'm going hard in the paint, getting back to my kettlebell swings,
There you
and
go.
I gotta get this fat off, man. I tried the fat, and it just don't look good on me, so I gotta get this fat right off.
I mean, I have unsuccessfully called it unfat fucking myself because I'm all for body positivity, but my parents died young and everything like that. So for me to be this big, yeah, I'm a fat fuck, right? So I gotta unfat fuck myself.
Hey,
Um,
I'm with you on that, man. I'm on the
yes,
same train, brother.
yeah, absolutely. Wait, so I mean, we're not even a minute in. We got your swinger and and we're running trains. Is is that? It's late at night, folks. This ain't your mama's PG or
No, it
fight
ain't.
review. But then again, I mean, have you seen fucking what's her face, Karen Bryant with Hanach on Instagram Live? Like, yeah, they ain't PG as shit anywhere, Anytime you got Uncle Halnach, he's all about the fruits and vegetables and poha carajo and fucking shit. Yeah, always hitting on the Ken Bryan, So just saying. Uh, the good sister Takia Powell says, "Hey guys, how
What's up,
are you?"
Takia? Shout out Takia. Shout out Marquise. All day, every day. Let's go.
Yes, yes, I'm here. And then Jamal King Harris says, "Left my ass off, me too." Yes, and
What's up, Jamal? Long time no see, man. When you coming back to the 805? So
yeah,
we can get that work in. You know what I'm saying?
he's
I don't think we've ever worked, man. Let me know when
ooh,
you're coming through, and I'll come through. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that work.
yeah, work. That's the deal. And Sean John Thompson says, "What's up, guys?"
What's
Sean
up,
John,
Wishlow?
what's going on? What's going on?
What it
So,
do?
so my goodness, the UFC Fight Night, not Cater versus Chikadze, right? We got Derek Lewis and Chris Daukaus, right? Right off the bat, this is a cool little deal because we are actually welcoming into the UFC somebody that you and I know pretty well on the local scene. We basically saw him win the Lights Out Extreme Fighting Bantamweight Championship from Albert Warrior Morales, the Belizean Warrior Morales, but one Victor Mangonesta Henry is making his UFC debut on a like maybe a week's notice, So that's awesome. That's awesome. So I think, I mean, he's local to us, but local to Vegas, where this is actually taking place, is Jordan Levitt, the Monkey King, returns. He is 8-1. This guy is one of the most unique mother truckers around. He marches to the beat of his own drum. We basically saw him. I mean, he kind of split his way into our hearts with a win over Matt Winman, where he just slammed the motherfucker. He just went bye, and that was it. And then he fucking did the splits and whatever. He's a fourth generation Las Vegan. He's the Monkey King.
Yes. These two fellas are both veterans of the UFC. However, the Monkey King is one that is rings loudest in my ear. So I'm going with the Monkey King to win this one by either split decision or a lucky submission win.
Yes, and we didn't even get into his opponent, Robo Matt Sales, who comes out of Alliance down in San Diego.
Lions
Uh,
MMA.
yeah, absolutely. He basically last time that we saw him in the octagon, he lost to Bryce Mitchell when Bryce Mitchell hit a fucking twister on him back at UFC on ESPN 7. That was back in December of 2019. So a good 2 years since we last saw Bryce Mitchell in the octagon. And now he's back. And again, Monkey King himself is coming off of a loss, and that loss was a decision loss to a Brazilian fella named Claudio Puelles, I believe.
Yes.
Right, absolutely. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so
The,
Syndicate.
the 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 thing here is Matt Salis is moving up from featherweight to lightweight. Yes, he will have more liquid in him, but is he ready? Is he going to be? Is he going to feel at home at 155, or is it going to be a new thing for him? This is yet to be discovered. Jordan, however, we know he's a lightweight. He's been in at lightweight for some time now, and he is more established at lightweight. So we will see. But I'm going for Jordan to win this one either by split decision or a lucky submission.
There you go. Monkey King. Why the fuck not? And he's always fun to watch. So I'm gonna go with Monkey King. I don't care how it happens. It's just gonna be odd. Man, I can't wait until he gets off of the fucking Fight Night cards, the ESPN Plus cards, and moves over to the pay per view presentation of the UFC, so he can fucking get Rogan. You got Rogan, who's a stoned ape, or believes in a stoned ape theory, and the Monkey King. I think that would be fucking cat must see TV. So I'm just saying. I hope Jordan wins so he can fight on a pay per view to get interviewed by Rogan. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and Takea's, me too.
me too.
Hell yeah, me too. And he's not on here. Hello. So yeah, he's not on here. It's the gent that you were talking about, Voodoo. That was
Yeah.
like a shout out to. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name, but apparently he's not here. So there you go. But who is here is one Josh Parisian, who's 14-4. This is a gentleman coming from the Scorpion fighting system, right? He last beat Rocky Martinez in a split decision win back in June of this year being 2020. But before that, losing to Parker Porter via unanimous decision, and then beat Chad Johnson, uh, basically on the Dana White Contender Series in August of 2020, and now he's here, right? And I'm not talking about Chad Ochocinco or Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco's given name. We're talking about a completely different Chad Johnson, so not to get the two confused. But he is facing Don Tale,
Don Tail.
Don Tail, but yeah, Dragon Tail, Lord Kong. His name is Lord. His fighting alias is Lord Kong, who also has a win over Rocky Martinez, but it lost to Rodrigo Nascimento, right? And Ciro Gone, the current UFC interim heavyweight champion. He got heel hooked by Ciro Gone, which is wild to think about because Ciro Gone is a fucking striker. But Lord,
Hey, the thing here is they do have one thing in common, and that's Roque Martinez.
yeah,
You and I both know Roque Martinez. Josh beat Roque by split decision. That
yeah,
means Roque almost won.
yeah.
Don Tail beat him by unanimous decision.
Hmm.
That was convincing. So that's clear to me. I'm going with Don Tail, Lord Kong, Mayers to win this one by
Really?
dominant decision.
Okay. I mean, I'm actually going the other way.
Okay.
Uh, and going Parisian because
Okay.
I don't know Lord Kong. It's just I'm assuming that it's going to be when what's his name? Jesus, what Joel Martinez is the ring announcer for this one, right? And make some noise if you are ready, right? Yes.
Already.
So imagine Don Tale Lord Kong, or is it Lord Kong Don Tale Maze? And I like just phonetically, I just want to go Myers, not Maze. Don Tale Myers. I don't know. That's a rough one to say, and that's why I mean Josh Parisian. He doesn't have a fight moniker, but also I can't remember the last time Josh Parisian fought. So hopefully Josh Parisian uh, defeats Lord Kong in a way that maybe it'll jog my memory. I mean, 2021 has been a lot of fucking fights. So
Let me tell you something. By the time Don Tail Mayor's Lord Kong is done with your boy Josh Parisian, his new moniker will be the Drum because Don Tail is gonna beat him like a drum.
yeah, that could absolutely happen. Um, but the thing about it is, it's not my boy. That's like we're not hanging his name Parisian. We're not sharing one of those big ass Parmesan wheels full of spaghetti with a light on fire and shit like that. I don't know that dude from anything. So before we get into it, like yeah, I don't want to say perceptions are everything, but I mean Parisian looks like a real American.
We
Fight for
shall
the
we
fight
we we
fight for the
shall see
rights.
come Saturday.
I don't know. I thought we saw it on January 6th, but anywho, uh, so we got Raquel Pennington, 12
Rocky.
and 8, right, against Macy Chiasson. Now, this is fun because the reason, I mean, one of the ways that we know Raquel Pennington or first came to know Rocky Pennington was via the Ultimate Fighter, where she was on Team Rousey with, against Misha Tate's team, right? And now she is facing Macy Chiasson, who won the Ultimate Fighter back in 2019. I believe it was. Or is
Mhm.
it 2018? I want to say it's 2018. Because coming back from it, that's when me and Blake Troop got into a crash. So,
All right.
yeah, yeah. So it's 2018. Yeah. Because that was 11/30/2018, where she actually beat Bane Kianzad um, by rear naked choke, which is wild. And then
Mm.
the very next day, coming back from said fight in Vegas, Troop and I got into a crash. So I for better or worse, Macy Chiasson is etched in my brain. So there's that. Oh, Jamal Harris says Gagne is good, but Francis is a different fighter now. And that fight goes to decision, and Rocky gets it. Well, she definitely got allegedly uh, Tisha Torres, the Tiny Tornado. So they're getting it, presumably. Even though, even though I haven't seen them together in the social media posts, whatever. Is it like a Charlotte Andrade thing where they unfollowed each other on social media, but they're still together, crying away from the public eye? And it's pretty shitty of me to bring up their personal interactions on here, but there's that. Which I don't know who's in the running who have the like in my head. Amanda Nunes and Nina Nunes baby versus an offspring of Raquel Pennington and Tisha Torres. That'll head UFC 350. Probably in 20 years time.
Mm. Hey, this particular fight is gonna be a banger, and it's gonna be a banger because they're both very good boxers. Raquel, however, is more polished. She's
Yeah.
got more experience. She's been in there with the very best in the world. Macy is on her way up, and I believe she will be moving on to 7-2. because Raquel knows exactly what to do, when to shoot, change the trajectory of the fight, take it to the ground if she has to. She's gonna do that. But the majority of this fight is gonna be on the feet, and Raquel has better boxing, I believe. So Raquel, if she happens to get rocked or anything like that, she's gonna change levels and clinch, change levels, take her to the ground. What's Macy gonna do when she gets on the ground? This is the question. This is a question that needs to be answered, and I don't think she's ready. Raquel is number 7 for a reason, and Raquel will win no less than split decision.
Yeah, and here's the other thing, you said Macy is on the way up, and I don't dispute that. But some people in MMA Twitter are basically saying that that loss to Lena Landsberg, right? Can you? I can't pick Lena out of the lineup, unfortunately. And then she's gone decisions with Shanna. She's won decisions against Shauna Young and Marion Renault. But you remember what they were saying about Renault in a retirement fight with Misha Tate, right? Older, not saying that she isn't skilled, but she's an older competitor, right?
I mean,
So
I was expecting her to finish Marion Reneau,
that's what I'm saying.
and
Yeah, I
but
agree.
Raquel Pennington she's still a major contender, you
Yeah,
know, and I just don't see her losing to Macy unless she gets clipped and she gets put out. If she doesn't
right.
go to sleep, she wins by split decision, nothing less.
No, I mean I can't go again. I mean Raquel Pennington, her and Tisha Torres, since that season of Ultimate Fighter, they have been some of the, even in losses, some of the most dynamic fighters to watch. So yeah, my Mari Yamasaki's go with Raquel Pennington, and this is at featherweight, right? Women's featherweight, which is crazy because after what happened to Amanda Nunes, the UFC Women's Featherweight Champion, in a bantamweight title fight against one Venezuelan vixen, Juliana Pena, well, she's not as invincible as we once thought, right? So she's got kinks in the armor, right? And this is like an awesome place to be if you're Raquel Pennington or Macy Chiasson or any female in the top 10 of the women's featherweight division, because we would be like, oh, damn, shit, you got to fight Nunes. But now Nunes looks beatable. She lost one of her double titles. So I'm just saying, this is a good place if you're a competitor. And I love Nunes, so that's nothing against it. But if you're a competitor, seeing what you saw with Juliana Pena, you got to be like, hey, this is a nice spot for me to be in.
Yes, yes. I really do believe there is such a thing as emotional gas tank, and Amanda Nunes, she said she fell off. She lacked emotional gas tank.
Yeah.
She couldn't put a finger on it, but it's right there under her nose the whole time. She just couldn't figure it out, and she probably still wouldn't figure it out until many days and months of reflecting. Then it'll hit her. But I wish her the very best. She is very good, but the blueprint for beating her is there now. You know,
Yep.
so it is what it is.
Absolutely. And Jamal King Harris says Rocky comes forward, which is
Yeah,
absolutely true.
pressure,
Yeah.
pressure busts pipes, and pressure makes diamonds. In this case, Raquel will be the diamonds, and the pipe will be Macy Chiasson.
Okay. I like it. So I think they got a unanimous pick here. So shout out to Raquel Pennington in your victory. Again, nothing against Macy Chiasson, but again, there's levels to the shit, and Raquel Pennington is seemingly levels ahead, you know? But speaking of going ahead, we have Andre Ewell, Mr. Highlight, 17-8, going against Mr. Finland, one Charles. I'm sorry, that's not Air. I mean Air
Air
Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, why did I confuse him with the other Mariquani? That's who I. there's a lot of names bouncing around my fucking head this time of night. But yes, we got Air Jordan versus Mr. Highlight. Now let's look at Mr. Highlight, who is a tenured veteran of combat sports. I mean, he's coming off of 2 losses actually. He gets a unanimous decision loss against Chris Gutierrez, and then he gets KO'd by Julio Arce,
Hmm.
back in July of this year
Yeah,
of 2021,
I remember.
right? And that's a scary place to be because you got Charles Air Jourdain, who's 11-4-1. Uh, he lost to Julian Erosa
Hmm.
via dart stroke, but he beat Marcelo Rojo in the very third round back in March by KOing him, right? But he fell to Andre Touchy lost via split decision, and then he went to a draw with Joshua Kulibao,
Hmm.
and then but he KOs Dohu Choi with a left cross back in 2019. So
That's
that's a very up and down kind of UFC tenure for Charles Air Jourdain. What say you, Voodoo?
um, Andre Ewell. Um, he's decent. He's decent, but so is Charles Jourdain. But the difference here is they call this man Air Jordan because he pushes the envelope. He understands the idea of free flow. He gets that already, and he tries to access free flow as often as possible, which is why they call him Air Jordan. Michael Jordan accessed free flow when he played basketball. This fella here, he is on that path, and because he is seeking to make it to the next level of MMA striking, I am going with Charles Jourdain to win this one by unanimous decision. I think he's going to outstrike Andre Ewell in this particular matchup. What say you, my man?
I, you know what? I'm not sure. This one is a coin toss for me. I know Charles Air Jordan is it is more of a in recent memory more of a Mr. Highlight than Andre Yule.
Hmm.
Granted that, but I feel like both gentlemen are fighting for their UFC livelihood. Right, this is sink or swim.
Yeah,
Right, one coming off of a 2 straight losses, and then come kind of a checkered pathway thus far with the other. So this one is a must win, right? I mean, you're cutting weight. Hopefully, you can get some rum chata or eggnog in you or whatever after this fight. Once you have a solid foundation in the UFC, a solid footing rather, right? But if not, guess what? It's not, back to the regional scene you go.
hmm
So that's a rough one. So to me, it's a toss up. What I feel needs to happen is, oh, you know this guy, Bilal Muhammad, right? Remember thy name. These two, win, lose, or draw, are going to have to do something that will make us, the UFC fan base, to remember their name. Otherwise, off with your head. And by their head, not their actual head. I'm just saying the roster cuts and what have you. So that's it. So for me, I mean, if you're going Jordan, I would probably went there too. But just to show you how kind of flippant it can be, let's go with Andre Yule for me.
Yes, that is not a bad pick because the fact of the matter is, like you said, these two gentlemen are fighting for a place at the table, and they're going to be willing to do whatever it takes to get that seat. It's like that musical chair, everyone rushes to sit down, and there's one more chair left between these two, and who's going to get that seat? It's a 50% chance, but it's a good split. It's a good split. I'll go Jordan, you go Ewell. No problem. I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing that I definitely like. right, is this fight in the women's flyweight division. That is one Sajara Sarge Eubanks 7-6 with against Melissa Gatto, who is 7-0-2. Now, let's go with Gatto, right? She basically beat Carol Hosa, Carol Hosa by Kimura back in 2018 in the literally the regional seed of Brazil, right?
Chris
But
Cyber
Chris,
Ocean.
yeah, absolutely, right. And now Carol Hosa, along with Gato, or is in the UFC. So it's, I mean, Chris Cyborg has an eye for Brazilian talent, you know. So with that, I'll be, and it's funny because I have a California state title here. That was basically the first women's bantamweight title won by Brooke Mayo, but it was defended or won rather at Chris Cyborg's co-promoted Genesis MMA show way back in the day. I believe it was 2017. So that just shows you everything you need to know, right? But Gato is probably facing the toughest fight in her career, toughest test in Sarge Eubanks. This is somebody who, during this kind of COVID era of fights, she wasn't doing, I think she was a 50-50, something like she had like a 50-50 record. It was her and Shanna Dobson who were
Mm-hmm.
like, whoa, they're still here? They're
Mm-hmm.
still here? But in the instance of Sajara Eubanks, that win over Julia the Raging Panda Avila, man, she shut down Avila down, and Avila ain't no. I mean, fuck. I trained with fucking Julia Avila way back in the day when I first started, and she threw me clear across the room, bouncing at the feet of my wife, and my wife was just like, "You still want to do this?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do this." But Julia Avila is tough, so for Sajara Eubanks, to fucking beat Julia as Julia's star was rising, almost reminiscent of what we are seeing now of Lupita Godinez,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Shit me, and for me, Sajard always got, much like the aforementioned Shanna Dobson, always comes to fight, basically scoring a TKO victory over Elise Reed back in July of this year. So she wants to get one before the year is out, presumably, wants a $50,000 bonus. Especially that Elise Reed, win coming after she lost back-to-back unanimous decisions to Ketlin Vieira and Panik Kianzad, right? So, man, oh man, oh man, I got the Sarge. I'm rolling with Sarge, 8-6. Nothing against Gato, but there's levels to this shit, and
Mm-hmm.
I believe just in where Sajara Eubanks, she came into the UFC pretty early in her career, right, via the Ultimate Fighter, yeah, the Ultimate Fighter, right? She's faced Maya. At the time, it was Stevenson. Now it's Kuna La, right? Who has gone on to, go to Bellator. But she's done bare knuckle fighting, a championship. She's a tough cookie. And then Deanna Bennett, who's essentially in Bellator now, right? And the legendary Roxanne Modafferi, right? Wins over Lauren Murphy. And then another win over Modafferi, right? But then losing to Aspen Ladd and Betch Correa, and then the Sarah Moras. I say I got confused with the Brazilian pronunciation, but Sarah Moras and Julia Avila deals. So she's faced a lot of top tier competition, right? So I'm rocking with Sarge.
I also will be rocking with Sarge as well because she is a UFC veteran. She's seen very stiff competition, but the thing here is she's got decent enough wrestling to counter the Brazilian jiu-jitsu of Melissa Gatto. Melissa Gatto is very, very good with the armbar. She's mean. She will break your arm off if you do not tap quick enough, as her last opponent saw. She doesn't play. She doesn't play. She will come for that armbar. She will come for that kimura. She's an arm specialist. She will take your arm home with her if you allow it. I do not believe Saj will allow that. In all of her fights, she's never been submitted, and I don't believe Melissa will be the one to submit her now. So I also will go with Saj, and I see a stoppage in the third.
Well, you want to talk about jujitsu and all that jazz, right? You guys forget that Sajara Eubanks has trained and honed her jujitsu via Lloyd Irvin, right? One of the baddest hombres, baddest black belts ever to do this fucking shit. So I'm just saying, that Gato wants to fucking do the jujitsu.
Good luck.
Cool story, sis. Let's see how that works. Because I mean, this is pretty much going to be an EBI or Josh Barnett's Bloodsport. This is going to be, if you're talking about the evolution of MMA, right? Basically, that's it, right? The striker and what separates the ground fighter from the striker, right? And you get this, whether it be a Josh Barnett's Bloodsport where it's only KOs or submission, right? Or an EBI or a combat jiu-jitsu rather, where it's open hand slaps, Puerto Rican slap boxing, like Uncle Hanach would normally say, right? So this is going to be that kind of missing link, right? Yes, you're going to see some fucking punches and it's gonna look nice. They're gonna look crisp with it, or some not so crisp. But then if they get to the ground, which I'm hoping for, they get to the ground, and that's gonna be a fucking amazing shit right there. So, but yeah, I'm rocking with Sarge. I feel Gato has something, but it's not here. Not here. Not with Sarge.
Not yet.
100%. But speaking of things that are here just yet, we have Harry Hunsucker, 7-4, a two-time uh, regional champion in another organization. That is HRMMA in kind of the Panhandle. I believe they're in Arkansas, somewhere in there. Kentucky. Sorry, Kentucky. They've got one of the most interesting belts because it's literally hard rock MMA. It's a wild title design, but I like things that just don't look like anything else you've ever seen. But that's another story for another day, right? That's where Harry Hunsucker is coming from. He's got that fucking Kentucky beat the shit out you, So, and I mean, he lost to none other than Tai Tuivasa, but he's Tai Tuivasa. But he won. He beat Corey Moon almost in a similar instance as Tai Tuivasa basically did to him, welcoming him to the UFC. Now, Hunsucker is facing another literally thunder from down under, the bad man, Justin Tafa, who is 4-3. Tafa basically beat Juan Adams. He lost to Johan De Castro. Who the fuck loses to Johan De Castro? Justin. Fuck, man. I really wanted to pick him, man. I really did, man. Aussie. I. No, can't. You lost to fucking Johan De Castro. You got KO'd by Johan De Castro. What the fuck? I literally look like the body type of Johan De Castro. Actually, you know what? Johan De Castro makes me look like a fucking Adonis. There you go. Never forget. But beat Juan Adams, KOs Juan Adams, and then uses via split decision against Carlos Felipe, and then Jared Vandera loses by unanimous decision. So he doesn't like to go long in the tooth, right? Which I feel Harry Hunsucker might be uniquely suited to have a hurricane go through one Justin Tafa. What say you?
These two fellas have one person in common, Jared Van Dera.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Tafa lost by unanimous decision, while Hunsucker lost by ground and pound. These two fighters aren't going to go to the ground. This is why the UFC paired them together. It's going to be a rock'em sock'em robot, and it's a 50-50% chance of whoever is going to win, whoever lands first. I mean, this is a heavyweight division. Whoever hits the spot will win the match. I'm going to go with Justin Tafa. It's
Okay.
a 50 split. So I'll go with Justin Tafa. You got Harry, Double H.
And here's the deal, right? You say he doesn't have, this is going to be Rock'em Sock'em Robots. This is why I'm advocating for Harry Hunsucker, right? Which, especially what happened, there's a tornado that rolled through that region of the country. So having the hurricane as your moniker might not be the best of times. But in any event, this gentleman has a rear naked choke win over Tim Dunn, right? At Hard Rock MMA 97 back in 2018. He also has an Americana win. He also has a Kimura win, right? In addition to KOs. This motherfucker is a finisher.
Mm.
And not just a finisher, because all of those coming via round one, right? So I think in the instance of both gentlemen, right, they can't they can't blow their loads. They can't, because I mean, Harry's fucking fights, they don't get out of the first round, and the same thing with Tafa. And if they get out of the fucking first round, Tafa's usually losing. But in terms of, you know things in their arsenal, I just feel like Hunsucker has a little bit more than his opponent Justin Tafa. So that's why I'm going Harry.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But the power that's going to be willed between the two, I
Yeah.
I don't see technique being the result of this matchup. It's going to be rock'em sock'em, and then somebody's head's going to pop up.
Fuck yes. I'm not saying that's not gonna happen. That could absolutely fucking happen. But that's it. That's just throw shit against the wall and see what sticks. Or whose head fucking pops off their fucking shoulders. Man, it's gonna be a what is it? A KO time. That's what the fucking at the end of the Flintstones. We'll have a KO time. That's it. You know. So there you go. Now,
Yep.
speaking of a hell of a time, shit me. Finally, Victor Henry is a member of the UFC roster. This is a gentleman who was a former deep bantamweight champion, who is ranked the number one. It's still ranked the number one bantamweight in Japan. And that's crazy to think that uh, Victor Henry, which is not crazy to think, but look at all the badass motherfuckers that Japan produces in every division, but specifically at bantamweight. And Victor Henry is the king, right? So won the fucking deep bantamweight championship. I actually saw it on Josh's social media. Josh Barnett, Victor Henry's head coach, right? And he was like, "Yeah, we were supposed to fucking defend the deep title in Japan, and then the fucking pandemic happened, right? And then this long sabbatical, and what happens? He fights Albert Morales at Lights Out, which you and I were both there, and guess what? He fucking wins. He fucking wins the fucking title at Lights Out, right? So now he's in, a hell of a record. He's still young, 21-5, a world of experience, right? And he's facing Raoni Barcelos. Now, Raoni, right, uh, lost to Tamir Valiev via majority decision, but that has wins over Khalid Taha via unanimous decision and Saeed Nurmagomedov, which, get the fucking, last thing with the fucking Nurmagomedov, that's something. That is something. But Jesus Christ. If you are picking Victor Henry in this one. I don't know what the fuck, man. Because, like, again, rear naked choke win over Albert Morales just in October, right? Rear naked choke at Lights Out Extreme Fighting 6, right? I mean, tore through Risen, RCC, Deep, CXF. This guy, and he was in Quintet. He was a part of Josh Barnett and Sakuraba's fucking team in Quintet, the fight night in Tokyo,
Mm-hmm.
right? So just fucking hell, man. Victor Henry, this is it. This is it. This is what we've all been waiting for, man. Fuck it. I don't care how it fucking happens, man. And you know what? Fuck it. One of those catch wrestling, those fucking grimy, gritty, fucking face cranks. Let's say that. That's how Victor Henry's gonna win. Because it's taken him so fucking long to get to the fucking UFC. You know, I don't know for sure. I don't know if it's the heat that, maybe Josh has. Oh, not Josh has. I'm going to speak for Josh. But there's some kind of acrimonious deal between the UFC and Josh Barnett or whatever. And I hope that's not it or whatever. But for whatever fucking reason, 21-5 and just barely get into the UFC. Not even the fucking Dana White Contender Series or whatever the fuck. So tonight, or actually Saturday night, rather, is going to be La Mongosita. Mongosta. There you go. I don't know why I said Mongonista, but Mongosta, Victor Henry's fucking time to shine.
Mm-hmm. Well, what we have here is a battle between wrestling and jiu-jitsu. The anti-jiu-jitsu is wrestling, and Victor Henry has a lot of that. But
catch wrestling, fuck yes.
Yeah, catch wrestling on top of that. The problem here is to execute this style of wrestling, one needs enormous cardio or gas tank. And Victor Henry has that. He has that. He has the experience on his side. He has the wrestling, the anti-jiu-jitsu on his side. So if he doesn't make any mistakes, I see him winning by split decision, causing an upset. Victor Henry by split decision.
Yeah, fuck yes. I like it, love it, want some more of it. So shout out to Victor. I'm so happy for him for finally getting his fucking just due, right?
Congratulations to that fella.
Hell yes. Now, in the 185-pound division, we have Dustin Stoltzfus against one GM3 Gerard Michart, right? Now, Stoltzfus, coming off of two straight losses against Kyle Daukaus and Rodolfo Vieira, right? Daukaus, he drops a unanimous decision, right? Too, and then Rodolfo, he gets rear naked choked, right? But I mean, he came to us via Dana White Contender Series last year in 2020, and where he fucking slammed Josh Pfeiffer and basically fucking broke his arm. That's how we know Stoltzfus. But GM3, Jesus Christ, 33-14. Can you find a more tenured fucking band? I mean, I'm bantamweight. What is it? 185. Was that welterweight? That's welterweight, right? What is it? Yeah. Can you find a more tenured?
No. 185.
Is it middleweight?
Middleweight. Yeah, middleweight. Welterweight, 170.
170. Yeah, it was one of those. It was the jump before what is it? Light heavyweight, right? The 185, and then you jump way the fuck up to 205, which is fucking crazy, but that's another story for another day. But GM3 coming off of two fucking finishes, right? Against Bartosz Fabinski, power guillotine, right? Not just a regular guillotine, a fucking power guillotine, right? And a rear naked choke over Mahmoud Muradov, right? That's it. It's GM3 for me. Yeah, man. He's gonna fucking fuck up somehow. You know that wicked freeze crack that I was talking about, Victor Henry. Well, guess what? We might see it ×2,
Yeah.
back to back with
Yeah.
GM3.
Yeah, Dustin is good. He's a very good grappler. He's got decent, okay striking. Few knockouts here and there, but Mearchart GM3 is the superior grappler. He's more established in the UFC. He's seen very, very stiff competition. And I don't think Dustin is going to come in here and do anything that he hasn't seen already. Mearchart is going to control the match. He's going to close the distance, put him on the fence, dirty boxing, take him to the ground, finish him on the ground. It is what it is. He'll finish him in the third. No problem.
Yeah, man. So GM3, which I feel is going to be a candidate for fight of the night, or at least the performance of the night. I think.
I support a performance most definitely. It was
Yeah.
fight of the night for sure. Not these two.
Oh, really?
Not these. But the
Okay.
next fight though, in Derek Elkins opening
Darren
up
El-
main card, Derek Elkins versus Cub Swanson. Now we're talking. Cub Swanson ain't gonna be shooting the double for nothing. Derek Elkins ain't gonna be shooting the doubles for nothing. This is our first candidate for fight of the night.
Okay.
What say you?
Uh, do I have to reiterate my feelings about one Cub Swanson?
I'll tell you what. You can have Elkins and I'll pick Swanson.
Okay. No, I'm riding with Elkins because let me fucking go back into the Wayback Machine, right? It was a fateful night at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas for UFC 209, right? They had that shit ass fucking fight with fucking Tyron Woodley and who's it? Wonderboy Thompson, who's actually fighting on this card, right? But that was shit. But what wasn't shit was that fucking fight with Darren Elkins and Jesus Christ, why am I forgetting the gentleman's name? God, because that to me was like gonna
Night
be
Train, the Night Train guy, Freight Train,
no, it was wait,
the guy named Freight Train. What's
not the WCW jobber guy, right? Or that was Ice
Nate
Train.
here?
No, not it wasn't late Landwehr, not at all. That was not Godfredo Pepe, which I think is the greatest fucking name ever. But Mirsad Bektik, that's it. UFC 209.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that one where even Rogan talks about, man. Like fucking Elkins was getting his ass handed to him.
Tire time.
Yo, I mean, I was there. We were like, imagine T-Mobile Arena fucking erupting and going like, they fucking should stop the fight. People like booing like that the referee didn't fucking stop the fight. And then what the fuck? Elkins KOs him? And that raw. I mean, I was kind of far back and I felt that shit. I'd say Darren Elkins and Mirsad Bektik and, Jalen Turner and Richard Leroy. Those are my two favorite fights of all time. But also, I was there for both of them. So those are the. If you want to get at me and fucking shoot me in the DMs, it's not the greatest fight of all time, Woods. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Cool. Sorry, bro, or sis, or whatever you identify as. Shout out to you and your sexual orientation. But with that all being said, what I am saying is the two greatest fights, and I've seen a lot of, as have you, been fortunate enough to see some great ass fights. The head and shoulders above the rest. Jalen Turner and Richard Leroy and Mirsad Bektik and fucking Darren Elkins. And that is why I'm riding with fucking the damage, Darren Elkins.
The damage, Darren Elkins can take a lot of damage, which is why, that's his moniker. But the thing is,
it's also his tattoo. Lovely tattoo.
Yeah, right.
Dana White loves it.
The thing here is Cub Swanson enjoys these types of matchup because he's great moving backwards. Darren Elkins will keep coming forward, but Cub will pick him apart. This is This is a fight custom made for Cub Swanson. Custom made. Granted, he doesn't get tired in the 15 minutes that they're going to be battling. He will beat the shiznit out of Darren Elkin by unanimous decision. I don't think he'll be able to knock out Elkins, but he will beat him down terribly. He might leak him, cut him up real good, but he's got very good kicks, very good, very good with his hands. Combination striking is really not his thing, but he does throw looping punches, and he throws them from awkward angles. Darren Elkins is more linear, right? He's more linear, while Cub Swanson is broken rhythm, right? His footwork is a little bit better than Elkins, and this is gonna keep Cub Swanson from taking a direct shot that could possibly put his lights out. But he will be scoring a whole lot of points on Darren Elkins and win by unanimous decision. But he won't be able to stop Darren Elkins. I don't think so.
No, no. And here we go. Here we go. I really want to get your thoughts on it because obviously they're doing the media for this fight on Saturday, and Cub Swanson. It's one of the reasons why I'm not picking him. He's all like, "Hey, one of the things that he said in past, and a lot of people say he said it in jest, but you can't unsay that. But he's like, hey, if you're fucking reporting on MMA, you should fucking have at least one fight and shit like that. Well, again, his wife, Kendra Perez, who's that Kendra Swanson, literally hosts a shit ton, and she's great. She's fucking great. She hosts a ton of UFC syndicated shows. UFC Ultimate Knockouts, Top 10, the fucking Pride replays, those syndicated, wraparound shows for the UFC. And she hasn't fought one iota. So I'm just saying. But let's add to this what Cub Swanson says, right? As UFC featherweight, Cub Swanson nears 15 years of competing on MMA's highest stage. The 38-year-old veteran believes his track record stands as testament to his worth. I think, and I quote, I think the longevity really shows your professionalism because, man, I can tell you how many people have been the next big thing, and like I've been here. Swanson told MMA Junkie at Wednesday's media day at UFC's Apex. This person is the next big thing, and they come and they have all these big fights, and then they retired, and people don't even remember the name, and I'm still here. To me, that's impressive. Try being top 10, top 15 for a decade. Try doing that. It's difficult, especially when life hits, You're not the same person when you started. So over the years, you have to keep evolving. And I think I wasn't doing that my entire career, trying to get better, being honest with myself, and not having yes men around me, people telling me how great I am all the time, and trying to keep people that were honest around, right? And if I weren't doing those things, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be able to be making money. That's from Cub Swanson. Your thoughts?
One thing that I would say about Cub is he's not the greatest on the mic. I believe he would benefit from actually studying his own script before he delivers it, so it can come out better. It'll be great if he can think of, write down some bullet points of things that he would like to cover, practice it with someone else, perhaps his wife, and get her reaction. So when he is in front of the cameras, it doesn't come out sounding annoying like it normally does. But in that cage, man, he's a beast. He's a beast. I told you. I was watching YouTube and I saw this highlight of Cub Swanson, and that's why I got my walkout song when I was an amateur. Actually, both amateur and pro. In for the Kill. In for the Kill by LaRue or something like that. Yeah, I got it from Cub Swanson. and I owe that to him. I owe that to him. But in regards to cage work, I think his footwork is much better than Darren's, and his awkward style will present some issues for Darren Elkins.
No, 100%. But Jesus Christ, Cub.
But I do understand. I do
You,
understand your point.
I understand what he's saying, but fucking Cub, the fuck you saying, bro? Like, let's see how that shit is when you're 50 and you can't remember your name. You know, like let's go with that, right? UFC has tried to fucking put you on the commentary team, right? They didn't require you to have a fucking journalism degree, just like you wanted the fucking people with the journalism degrees to fucking have fights. It's just fucking bonkers, Cub. But again, I mean, you know what? You know what is in my head when I think of Cub Swanson?
What?
By Ortega. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. His fucking tremendous fucking back tattoo as he's getting fucking strangled by Ortega. Can I tell you any of fucking Cub Swanson's fight? No, I can't because I mean, again, Brian Ortega did this. And where is Cub Swanson? He's been in there 15 years.
Mm.
And the most memorable fucking thing, I mean, we're talking WEC to UFC. The most memorable, that was in there with fucking Aldo.
Mm.
You want to talk about featherweights, right? And and featherweights that made a fuck ton of money. You mean to tell me that fucking like just being a guy, right? At some point, I see what you're saying, and I respect your experience and everything, but again, if you're about that fucking life, you don't have to say. You remember when you fucking came into a job, Voodoo, right? And this person would be like, oh, "I've been here 15 years. I've got seniority, so you should treat me with respect." And you're like, "No, man, fuck. You the fucking outdated version of what the fuck this shit is supposed to be. So get with it or get lit and shit like that." This is what Cub Swanson is sounding like to me, as somebody past his sell-by date, and all he has is this. Is he going to be a fucking contender? No. Like, yes, you got a fucking unanimous decision. You survived against Crone Gacy. Cool, bro. But look, Ortega, Frankie Edgar, Moicano, Shane Burgos. Good God. You got fucking,
And
fucking body kick by Giga Chikadze. And look, Giga Chikadze is fucking innovating a fucking fight night. What are you doing, Cub?
Like next week or something like that.
January, ain't it? Yes, something like that.
Yeah.
January 15, right?
Yeah.
And Cub Swanson?
Yeah. See, that's what we talk about. Like Cub Swanson is a very good fighter, but then he lacks mic skills, and I don't know about his platform. His platform doesn't seem to be in existence. Yes, he has a Instagram and whatever, but I don't believe it's doing what it's supposed to do. So,
hey, his Killer Cub t-shirts are fucking awesome, dude.
Those
I actually, as much as I fucking, I mean, I'm just pointing out, I'm not, the couple times that I've been around Cub, he's been, a gent, just an absolute gentleman. So I'm not trying to talk shit about him.
In fact, it's not about talking shit. It's a fact. He's not great on the mic, and his social media is not that great either. But he is a very good fighter. So he's got 1/3. He's got 1 out of 3. And that's not enough to be a megastar in the UFC. It's not enough to make a lot of money in the UFC. But we will say Cub did realize this as he branched out into business. selling T-shirts and merchandise. At least that can supplement his paycheck that he's not getting from the UFC cage. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, good luck. But for me, again, this is a battle of the chess tattoos. It's Cub Swanson SoCal versus Darren Elkins the Damage. So fuck yeah, man. And you know, I mean, Cub Swanson fell to a fucking, a fucking body kick, a fucking liver shot last time out, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
If Elkins can fucking do that, you got to remember, fucking Elkins. These are two super gyms. You got Elkins out of fucking Team Alpha Male up in Sacramento. Cub
Mhm.
Swanson training with all those fucking beasts at the fucking training lab. You
Mhm.
got under Mark Munoz, and you've got obviously shit TJ Dillashaw. You got fucking
The Spartan.
Smart the Archuleta,
Wada.
the current fucking Bellator champ. Those are some, and they got some young fucking guns too. Adrian the Future, like shit, man. So this is a fight of
It's gonna
this
be
is so
like
so
like we said, it's gonna be our first fight of the night. Right
yeah,
there. Right.
yeah,
It's
100%.
that's our first candidate right there.
I think so. I think so. You know, now we've got Diego Fiera, right? 17-4 against Mateus
Hmm.
Gamrot,
Hmm.
right? Now, Diego Fiera, right? Uh, ugh, coming off of two straight losses, right? Two straight losses over um, Benil Del Rios, split decision, and Gregor Gillespie. He gets ground and pound. He gets TKO, right? But before that, he was having a hell of a run. Oliver Auburn Mercier, right? Jared Gordon,
Hmm.
Kyle Nelson, Rustam Kabalov, right? What was that hard to say? Marbek Heismov. But you might not know any of these names, but guess what? This name you're about to know, Anthony Showtime fucking Pettis. He finishes Showtime Pettis, right? But it's been a long, long time since that happened. That was back in 2020,
Hmm.
right? Pettis is now in Bellator, right?
PF.
Doing PFL. Yes, he's in PFL, right? So there you go. And even Pettis' brother is fucking dude. He just won the title at Bellator, right? So,
Pettis is in PFL losing.
yeah. But see,
Bottom line, his time is up, man. It is what it is. Either he's going to reinvent himself or just retire. It makes no sense for him to be losing PFL. Not to say PFL is not,
PFL is banging shit.
they're banging, but they're not the top tier. They're not the top tier. They're like 3 or 4 down the line.
Okay. I mean, you win that fucking tournament. Mm,
Yeah,
good guy,
yeah,
but
but he didn't
but
even the second round. He lost
I
in the very first round.
no, I hear what you're saying. Well, I mean, maybe he should take his his WEC compatriot Cub Swanson's advice, right? In you've been here 15 years, right? Right,
Mhm.
right. Um, but yeah, I mean, Diego Fiera, man, two straight losses. Now, on the other side of the cage, he's going against a near perfect Matthias Gamrot, right? Just losing one fight, and that was to um,
Guram.
Guram back in 2020,
You
right?
know Guram, right?
He's the that was that fight under the Korean Zombie Brian Ortega. Wasn't
Yeah,
that on Fight Island?
yeah,
Yep.
yeah. That's the homeboy of Hamza
Habib.
Chimaev.
Oh, Chimaev. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
this is the fight that Guram felt he lost, but he won. He told his opponent, you beat me, but the referees gave it to Guram.
Yeah.
So this fella here is a very good fighter, very good striker. He's a wrestler. His hand and feet situation is going to be much better than Diego Ferreira or whatever his name is. I'm going with Mateus Gamrot
Yeah.
to win this one by beautiful destruction. He's going to
Yeah.
pick him apart. He might not knock him out, but he's going to pick him apart. And I actually see him winning by unanimous decision, not split decision.
Well, I actually have Mateos fucking finishing. I don't care how it's gonna happen. I don't know what round it's gonna happen. It could be a KO. It could be a fucking TKO. It could be a submission of some sort. But the
Yeah,
gamer is gonna be fucking player one.
yeah.
You know.
Diego Fierro went to a split decision against Benil Dariush. But one thing we know about Benil Dariush is he doesn't move his feet. He stands there and he bangs. He's not afraid of anyone. But in this day and age, movement is the key to victory and the key to success and the key to not getting hit so much. This is the edge that Mateus is bringing to the table, and this is the edge that's going to help him either win by unanimous decision or by knockout, like you are saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and if I mean, depending on how Diego falls, this could be a performance of the night, fucking
Agreed.
recipient.
Agreed.
Yeah,
100 agreed.
yeah. So, and Husky 518 says, "Hello, gentlemen. Hello, Husky.
What's up, Husk?
Yeah, man. But two gentlemen who aren't Husky at all is Ricky Simon
Simone.
and yes, and Rafael Assunção, right? Because this is going down in the bantamweight division, right? Simon 18-3, hailing from the American top team, the famed American top team, right? Losing to Uriah Faber on your Faber's comeback, right? And Rob Font, right? But between those, man, wins over Merab Devashili, right? Which they're looking at, Merab being, if you guys listen to the Rogan podcast with Marlon Chito Vera, which I absolutely, even if you're not a fight fan, go ahead and seek that fucking episode out. Just the way that Chito's fucking mind is and heart and everything like that. It's an incredible story, but Merab is somebody who fucking Cheeto is like, that could be my fucking path to the title. Merab is a fucking beast, man. They went on a fucking 3-minute tangent on just how scary that Merab is, both Rogan and Cheeto, right? So that's saying something. Vinicius Zani, right? Back in LFA, Ricky Simone has a fucking win over, and I believe he's a former LFA title because that was a LFA title, bantamweight title fight. Shout out to Vinicius Zani of Brazil, formerly of Daukaus. He's killing it in Brazil, right? But Montel Jackson, Ronnie Yaya, he fucking beat Ronnie Yaya. Ronnie Yaya is fucking beating the shit out of everyone, submitting the shit out of everyone. Did he just fight last weekend? Goddamn, Ronnie Yaya. Shit, yeah. But the fact that fucking Ricky Simon has a win over Merab, Vinicius, Montel Jackson, Ronnie Yaya, Ray Borg, and Brian Keller. Fuck, man. It's, ooh, buddy. And then you've got Rafael Assunção, right? Many people believe this is the next successor. This is going to be the Aldo of the bantamweight division, right? He's the next big thing. And I mean, obviously, sitting now at 27-8 of a record, but he is 39 years old, man. And this one could be his last outing with the UFC because he went on a hell of a run. Well, lost to TJ Dillashaw, right? At UFC 200. And then, but went on a hell of a win streak against Aljamain Sterling, who's now the champ, right? Martin Moraes, who's the fucking World Series of Fighting bantamweight champion, right? Matthew Lopez and Rob Font. Again, Rob Font, who's fucking, headlining a fucking card, right? But then lost 3 in a row to Marlon Moraes, right? The rematch. Corey Sandhagen, right? Who just lost the fucking eliminator fight, right? But not by much, right? And former bantamweight champion Cody Garbrandt, right? That's who could forget that fucking buzzer beater, right? Cody Gar- Cody Garbrandt, right hook, and
Mhm.
then beep.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep, that
uh,
was at the
yeah.
hands of a Sensao, So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go. Unfortunately for Rafael Sensao, I'm going with Ricky Simon.
I'm also going with Ricky Simones because Rafael Sunsao been in the UFC for a very long time. He was part of the acquisition of the WEC.
Yeah, he was.
His was one of the contracts that was bought when the UFC bought WEC. So he's been in the game for some time.
Mhm.
It's been in the UFC since Field TV and all that versus. He went through all.
Yeah,
He's a lifer. The president of the UFC says this is an opportunity, not a job. But
right.
he's one of the few that has made it a job. Um, Unfortunately, I believe his time has run out. He is currently number 14, and the young Ricky Simone at 88 wants that spot. And who better than Ricky Simone to move up the ladder, the speed ladder, and go all the way up to spot number 14, making himself a top 15? This right here is going to be a war of attrition. Who is in better shape? Ricky Simone is a fantastic wrestler. Rafael Sunsao is an older phenomenal Brazilian jiu-jitsu artist. We all know the anti-jiu-jitsu is wrestling. Simone has been in there with some significant top level individuals such that he can understand what Raphael is trying to do to him, and therefore defend very well and win no less than a split decision victory. Either way, Ricky Simone will move up to place number 14, and the Sunsao will be retiring.
Yeah, absolutely. I can see it, and what a career for a Sunsao. What could have been, really, is what you can say. And but you mentioned about a speed ladder that Ricky Simone is on, and here's a little bit of a public. How do you say? Public announcement, right? If you are someone who is battling an addiction of speed, or or might have a phobia of ladders,
Mhm.
well, we honestly and sincerely hope you get help because that's a traumatic instance. Speed, Need for Speed, Fast and Furious, and the fucking whatever fucking drug that is. It's that shit ain't nothing to play with. It's like Victoria's old WWF theme song. I ain't one to play with and
Mhm.
shit like that. And ladders, I just saw a clip of this fucking guy who dressed his house like the Christmas Vacation movie, right? And even had a fucking mannequin of Clark Griswold. And this silly motherfucker was like, hey, grab the ladder, because he thought it was the real fucking person, right? So that person probably has a fucking fear of ladders because he thought a fake Clark Griswold was hanging off the fucking side of the house, right? So if you have a problem with speed or a problem with ladders, we encourage you not to watch any WWE tables, ladders, and chairs, ladder matches, or whatever, and not to fucking get on Moss. So there you go. The more you know, and knowing is half the battle. GI Joe.
Mhm.
There you go.
Real American hero.
We had some of that January 6th,
Mhm.
but that's another story for another day. But speaking of another day, Amanda Lemos,
Mhm.
10-1-1, right? She is on a hell of a roll, right? A jungle fight champion. And Jesus Christ, man, jungle fight in terms of, you know, as Brazilian fighters ascending into the UFC, jungle fight is like no other, right? Shout out to Mara Israel and the rest of the team for jungle fight. That is the preeminent Brazilian federation to send people into the UFC, right? But she beat, she lost to, her only loss is to Leslie Smith, right? But obviously, spent most of her career in Jungle Fight, right? But after the loss to Leslie Smith, she fucking beats Miranda Granger. Shit, Miranda Danger Granger.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, Mizuki Inoue, Lavinia Sousa. Those are two. I mean, in Granger and Sousa, two former Invicta champions, right? And fuck yeah, she fucking KO'd Montserrat Ruiz because that's what you do. So, with that being said, on the other side of the docket is the always entertaining, the anti Cub Swanson. She is Angela Overkill Hill. She is somebody who has always um, figured out a way to show her personality in front of the camera at weigh-ins. You know, her and Karen Bryant were the first, I believe, uh, African American females
Mm-hmm.
to basically do a UFC broadcast. You
Mm-hmm.
know, to co-host. Fuck yeah, man! And Angela Hill, she's, I mean, to think about it, she didn't even know what the fuck MMA was, right? You know what? 7 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? She didn't know what it was, and wanted to do like the cardio kickboxing, whatever. Walked into a Muay Thai gym, and they're like, "Hey, you're pretty fucking good. Pretty
Mm-hmm.
fucking good. How about you do a fucking lion fight?" She literally, in her first fucking fight, I think that was like 6 weeks into her training, she's fighting at Lion Fight, the preeminent fucking U.S. Muay Thai promotion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then fucking after that, she has this a fucking KO over Stephanie Skinner, but then goes to the Ultimate Fighter and she loses to the double champ, right? The she's somebody who's a pioneer, right? The first Invictus strawweight champion and the first UFC strawweight champion in the Cookie Monster, Carla Esparza. But she loses rear naked choke. Obviously, Angela Overkill Hill is somebody who is always evolving, always showing you that personality, and
Mm-hmm.
has an eye out to what is out for her in her career
Mm-hmm.
at post fighting. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with fucking Angela Hill.
Mm-hmm. Well, Angela Hill, like you said, always improving, always getting better, always showing a different look every time we see her in the cage. But unfortunately for her, she's in there with Amanda Lemos, known to come forward, known to bring the fight. But the thing is, when you look at Angela's record, when you look at the people that she's lost to, these are people that are either excellent grapplers, such that they submit her, or they're people who bring the fight. See, Angela has learned to be a very good point fighter. She's very good at scoring a whole lot of points and winning that way. You
Okay.
see lots of decision victories on her record, which is smart. There's nothing wrong with it, but unfortunately, she's going in there against Amanda. Amanda is that type of person that seeks and destroys. Seek and destroy. This is her game. Seek and destroy. She learned from her last loss to Leslie Smith that elbows are a serious thing, which Angela Hill is very good at. But since then, she's fought several times and she's won. So I believe she's going to bring the fight. She's going to keep Angela on her heel. And everyone knows it's very taxing when you fight on your off the back leg. It's very taxing, and um, though Amanda might not get the knockout, she will get the victory because of pressure. Land. She will land the hardest shots, and there's a possibility we might even see a knockout. Amanda is that devastated. When you look at her record, lots of first round knockouts, second round knockout. The fight usually doesn't go the distance when she fights. Very rare that she goes the distance. But Angela has the skills to take her the distance, which is why I'm saying split decision.
Okay. I dig it. I dig it. Um, Fuck yeah, man. It's gonna be a fun one. I feel.
That'll be real nice.
Yes, it will. Yes, it will. But you know what else is nice? We are at the co-main events of the evening. And one I actually really don't give a shit about. We've got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson against Bilal, remember thy name, Muhammad. And
Yeah.
again, I go back to fucking, you got the, fire up the UFC Fight Pass, fire up the ESPN Plus, and go back to that fateful night of UFC 209 and listen to the booze.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some combat sports, organizations have been called up to task for essentially sweetening the crowd. Are you familiar with the term sweetening the crowd?
Mm-hmm.
Where they mix in crowd noise that isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I can tell you, right? The boos come across pretty fucking loud and clear on the broadcast. And I can tell you, they didn't sweeten the card one iota. I've been to a lot of wrestling, a lot of MMA, a lot of combat sports. My dad was a musician, been to a lot of concerts and whatever. I have never, ever heard the chorus of boos
Mm. Yeah.
as UFC 209 and Woodley and Thompson.
Yeah, and don't be surprised if you see a whole bunch of boos in this particular matchup too, because when you deal with a Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, when you deal with a character like this, you have to fight him in such a disgusting way that brings about all the boos. Bilal Muhammad does not want to stand with Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. He doesn't want to do that because if he does that, he's gonna get picked apart and he could possibly get knocked out with one of them feet slapping him in his face.
Mm-hmm.
So what he's gonna do is he's gonna do what he has to do to get close, take him to the ground. He's gonna hug him, put him on a fence, and try and steal the rounds at the very tail end of each round. If Bilal is lucky, he'll get the takedowns and he'll be able to wear him down. I mean, Wonderboy would not get tired, but he just needs to burn the clock. Like in football, the very good coaches will run the ball so they can burn the clock and then score. And by the time the other team gets the ball, there's not enough time on the clock to score. So this is a strategy that's going to work for Bilal Muhammad if he's able to execute it. But I don't think he will be able to because Stephen Wonderboy Thompson has very good takedown defense. He's very good wrestling. He's a master of distance management. He throws excellent 1-2 punches. Bilal would just not be able to do what he needs to do. Even though Bilal is a very good striker himself, I don't think he will be able to get in close, which will trigger the clinch and the takedowns. But it's just going to be a mess of a fight. It's going to be a mess of a fight.
Yeah.
It's not going to be exciting. It's a terrible co-main event. Wonderboy will win, but it is what it is.
Yeah. You know what's going to be my favorite moment of this fight?
The main event of the evening.
No, I'm saying this fight.
I don't know. What is it going to be when it's over?
Well, that, and then right before it starts, because we're going to hear one of my favorite songs of all time, Tenacious D's Wonder Boy.
Okay.
And then after it, I'm going to be waiting for it to fucking end because it's going to be garbage juice. Good God. So, but speaking of things that might not be garbage juice, we are at the main event of the evening. We have Chris Daukaus, right? Big year for fucking Chris Daukaus, man, because he's fighting who's somebody, all intents and purposes, if UFC fucking would have booked this shit right, one of the fucking title holders in the UFC heavyweight division, Derek the Black Beast Lewis, right? Now, obviously, let's go with Daukaus, right? 12-3 is Chris Daukaus. This is a gentleman who, I mean, pre-pandemic wasn't even in the UFC, but makes his fucking UFC debut against Parker Porter, where he fucking TKOs Parker Porter, right? Then he fucking next fight, Rodrigo Nascimento, right? Fucking hooks to the body, KOs Rodrigo, right? Alexei Olenek, the Nosferatu looking motherfucker that, swear to God, every time he fucking fights, he could just get you into the fucking
Nosferatu.
yeah. Doesn't Olenek look like fucking Nosferatu? And Nosferatu didn't fucking know how to grapple. Fucking Olenek knows how to fucking grapple like a motherfucker, man. Jesus Christ. Oh, if you want to fucking talk about a heavyweight fucking match, I want to see Olenek versus fucking Barnett.
Yes.
Just let those two fucking big water buffaloes just whatever and exchange fucking submission holds. I want nothing. Like I don't know what the fuck Olenek is doing. I don't know if he's in the UFC, but fucking Sakuraba booked this shit, bro. Because Olenek versus Barnett and fucking Quintet, fuck it. And you make that a super fight. If you don't want to do fucking team, you don't want to fucking tag out this whatever. Nah, fuck that. You Barnett Olenek, and you have that shit in Saitama Super Arena. Fuck yes, you do that. Hell yes. So I'm just saying, but yeah, and then he has a win over Olenek, right? Shamil Aburakov, Aburakamov, right? He fucking finished him too. So he's finished motherfuckers just right and left in his UFC tenure. He's undefeated in the UFC. When you know what that got him? The fucking Black Beast, Derek Lewis. Holy shit. You know what this reminds me of?
What?
WWF Brawl for All. Right? Where they wanted fucking Dan the Beast Severn. Oh no, I'm sorry. Dr. Death, Steve Williams to win, right? And Dr. Death, Steve Williams, and the toughest motherfuckers alive. So, yeah, let's do that. That's the way that we're gonna introduce him, right? But he gets fucked up. I think he tears his ACL, fucks his shit up and whatever, and gets KO'd, right? Dan Severn is in here too, and it doesn't do well. Like Godfather actually had a fucking mean ass look. He fucking knocks out Bradshaw or whatever. But the culmination, you have Bart Gunn of all people, the fucking half of the smoking guns, half of the smoking guns. Not even Billy, not even Mr. Ass, right? You got Bart Gunn beating the shit out of everyone and winning Brawl for All. And you know what his fucking prize was?
Butterbean.
Yep, getting KO'd by Butterbean in fucking 13 seconds at Mania in Boston or whatever the fuck.
Ending his WWE career immediately.
Yeah. No, he, as Mike Martin, he ends up having a hell of a fucking career in Japan after it. You know, so there's nothing wrong there. But Jesus Christ, man. This is, hey, Chris Daukaus, you've done well. You're undefeated in the UFC. Derek Lewis is fucking crazier than fucking Butterbean. I swear to God. Now, if Chris Daukaus finds a way to fuck up Derek Lewis, holy shit, that might be a second upset of the month, the week, whatever.
So it shall be, because that's exactly what's gonna happen. It's gonna be an upset. So? Oh yeah. When you watch Daukaus, when you watch him fight, the one thing you're gonna notice when you really think about it is the footwork. What do you notice about all these heavyweights? They're stuck in the mud like Conor McGregor, stuck in the mud, flat-footed. Daukaus is not like that. He moves his feet. We talk about Daukaus, Cyril Gane. I keep telling you, man, Cyril Gane is gonna beat Francis Ngannou.
Yeah.
I don't want it to happen, but he's gonna beat him. He's not gonna beat him by knocking him out or injuring him. He's going to beat him by sticking and moving. And that's what Chris Daukaus is going to do for 25 minutes. He's going to stick and move. What's that other fella's name? They're from England. The new guy.
Oh,
Aspinall.
Tom Aspinall.
These dudes are the new up-and-coming dudes that are going to shake up the division. Cyril Gane, Daukaus, Aspinall. These three fellas are going to shake up the division. It's going to... The championship is going to be revolving between the three of them. You mark my words and see. Granted, Chris Daukaus doesn't get touched by a phantom looping shot. He is going to control this match from the very beginning to the very end. But 25 minutes is a long time. And it only takes one shot from Derek Lewis to put your lights out. But I'm banking my money on Chris Daukaus. I'm
Okay.
banking money on Chris Daukaus. It's a 50-50. I'm sure you like Derek Lewis, which is fantastic. But I'm going
No,
to Chris Daukaus on this one.
you know what? I just, man, the bumblefuck booking of the UFC's heavyweight division at a time where you've got a lot of fucking players. This reminds me of boxing, right? We have Tyson Fury, you got Anthony Joshua, you've got the gent who was like, "Oh, I fucking lost because of my fucking headdress on," but that shit never bothered Triple H any. You know, he had a fucking gold and whatever. You see fucking Scott Steiner talking about his fucking headdress weighing him down? No. No, but that other guy, the guy, what with the God, I can't remember his name. He might as well be Bilal Muhammad. I can't remember the gent's name. But you know, and then you got Andy Ruiz, right? So you've got four heavyweights that, you know, kind of garner the attention of the pop culture lexicon, right? And here we go, right? You've got Gon, you've got Ngannou, you got Derek Lewis, right? We ain't talking about fucking Curtis Blades. Nobody's fucking talking about Curtis Blades. Yeah, damn. You know, that shit ain't happening. So with that all being said, right? This is how I kind of feel because they, you know, they didn't want to wait another month for fucking Francis, right? They're like, we want fucking a title change, and that title change being Derek Lewis in Houston, his fucking hometown, where he fucking saved a bunch of people in the fucking hurricane and whatever the fuck. That's what we're gonna do, whatever the fuck. Oh, Francis, you don't want to fucking come? Cool. All right, gone. Subbing gone for an interim fucking title. And guess what? God beats the shit out of Lewis, right? KOs him, finishes him in his own fucking town. So I'm just saying, the UFC, if Derek Lewis loses on Saturday night, this
Mhm.
is the biggest bumblefucking of a once in a generation talent, once in a lifetime talent like Derek Lewis. I'm not saying that, I'm not just talking about like, you know, fight acumen or whatever. Derek Lewis himself will tell you
Mhm.
he's not the fucking ardent fighter. He just wants to make the fucking money and whatever. But the fact that
I don't know.
we don't even know fucking Derek Lewis, but we know what? My balls is hot,
Mhm.
Popeye's chicken,
Mhm.
and his fucking Instagram page where
That's
I've sourced a lot of my fucking material from him. So I'm just saying, this is a guy who he's figured it out. He's
yep.
figured it out.
He's got
And
the Trinity.
absolutely. And the fact that if they just serve him up to this young guy of Chris Daukaus and
Mhm.
and Daukaus wins, fucking UFC, you fucked up. You
But
fucked up.
but the thing is, Derek Lewis is a victim of his own success. You see, when you win and you win and you win, how many more cans are we gonna give you? You got to start fighting the top guys. But unfortunately, the top guys are are are. I mean, he's already gotten a title shot. What else do you want? He's given it. He's been given.
He got an interim title shot.
That's a title, man. When you win the interim title, that's a world title, bro. It counts.
All right, you talk to me when they got a fight. Wait, this is the same organization that doesn't want to do a weight class every 10 pounds, right?
But
170 to 185, 185 to 205, right? They don't want to fucking do an atom weight division
mhm.
for the women's MMA.
Yeah,
This is the same place,
yeah.
right? So I'm just
But that title counts. It goes down in history. Like,
it counts. It counts for a fucking ruby if you defend that shit. They
yeah,
give you like a fucking what is it? You remember those little fucking gem zords or whatever the fuck you collect the thing in the troll's belly?
yeah.
It's literally what the fucking UFC legacy belt is. It's a fucking gem troll, whatever. You defend your title, ooh, here we go. And you gotta fucking send that shit to them. So you don't even have so go ahead and fucking get a autograph signing going, right? Go ahead and get an autograph signing. You as the fucking championship. Oh, where's your belt? Oh, I fucking send it off to get a fucking Gem Rider shit like that. Genevieve and the fucking Jewel Riders and shit like that. God damn, this is stupid. I'm sorry. The UFC title looks like shit. The new one and the ideology. Nobody told you UFC that every title defense you give the fucking champion another fucking title. Nobody said that.
Yeah,
Boxing, they don't do that.
it's cost effective to use the gem idea.
Yeah,
Each belt before was $30,000.
yes, but who said you just give him the same fucking belt and you're 25 fucking? Imagine if Ric Flair had 16 fucking world championships. God damn, you probably would have sold every one of them the fucking alimony as many times as that motherfucker got sued or fucking divorced and shit like that. But imagine doing that shit if you're Ric Flair, if you're fucking Kurt Angle.
Hey, hey, these dudes are cool and all, but let's get into some serious news, man. I hear Nate Diaz has gotten his contract extended. Now they're talking about him and Dustin Poirier. I like that fight.
Yeah, dude. I hope that fucking Diaz doesn't do that shit where his brother did and fucking just. I said, "Fuck this shit. I'm out." But that's what you're getting. I want Diaz to win. I mean, that's where I'm at.
He's good for business.
It's
business. The same way we went for Conor McGregor in the very beginning.
Yeah.
Conor was good for business. Because of Conor, now Nate is good for business.
Yeah.
You know? Now anyone Nate fights becomes a superstar because they fought Nate. And all that can be attributed to Conor. You know? Conor is the Don Juan of this whole shit. You know what I'm saying? Without him, it's gonna sink, like he said. Even the current lightweight champion is talking about, I'll give Conor McGregor the title shot. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not?
Because you know what the fuck is gonna happen? He's gonna fucking save the favelas with that fucking ass load of money that he's gonna get.
He's gonna rebuild the favela and turn them into Beverly Hollywood Hills. Straight up.
Well, you know, that's the funny thing, right? Because I mean, shout out to Terane Jiu-Jitsu and the fucking Nico from Terane and the BJJ Goons podcast. But you know, Brazil, right? The favelas is the opposite of everywhere else, right? All the I was driving around La Crescenta and fucking South Pasadena. In the hills, you got the fucking big ass house and rich people, right? It's flipped on its ass in Brazil. With the favelas, it's like, oh, there's fucking sketch all around and whatever, and then you descend into the fucking city. That shit is wild. So I'm just saying, you fucking Charles Oliveira, that's the smartest thing you ever fucking done.
Why the hell would I want to fight a Justin Gaethje when I can fight a Conor McGregor? Someone I know will be a stand-up fighter. You know what I mean? He won't really kick me. Even if he kicks me, he's not that very good at kicking. You know what I mean? Justin Gaethje is a specialist at kicking. He injures folks with his kicks alone, not talking about the power in his hands. Yeah. And he's like a zombie. He's just going to keep coming, and he doesn't get tired, and he's going to keep coming and keep throwing his bones at you. Not Dustin, Gaethje throws his bones at you. You know what I mean? He doesn't care. He's just reckless. You can even hear in his speech that he's starting to slur.
He was slurring in fucking World Series of fight.
Yeah.
Not even his.
Not to talk now.
And guess what? World Series of fight didn't you, every time you defended your title, didn't give you a fucking title for every time you fucking defended it. Goddamn. Oh, so shit. Look at this dumb shit, right? In terms of ideology. You as a champion, right? You get announced as a champion, but you don't get to walk out with your fucking belt. But an interim title is a fucking world title, and you won't have a title or a division every fucking 10 pounds. Like, shit is wild. I don't know. You know, I don't know. But yeah, fucking Gaethje has been slurring his words since World Series of Fight, and they ain't even World Series of Fight anymore. They PFL now. Like that motherfucker been slurring his words all day, every day. Do I love to? But you want to talk about reckless? This is a dude talk about an interim fucking title. As soon as he won that shit, he fucking threw that shit. God, God, yeah. He's just fuck this. I want the real one. Like, yeah. So I'm just
earn the real one.
yeah. I mean, and the real one is really fucking Conor McGregor. So shout out to fucking Charles Oliveira for fucking staking your claim and shit like that.
Hey, hey. The last fight, Charles Oliveira fought in, he spoke a bunch of Portuguese, but in the end, he finished off with English. Tell me these dudes aren't listening to us, man.
They fucking
Tell
are.
me these dudes aren't listening to us, even
Actually,
if
they're
they're not
not
the
listening
ones.
to you.
Hey, they're listening to us, man. Hey, man, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and stop hating. Stop hating. You
Who's
over there
hating?
steady taking notes, everything we discuss, you're taking notes, and then you don't show no love. Show some love. Stop hating. Like, share, and subscribe. Tell your homies to like, share, and subscribe too, and pass it on like a ripple effect.
Even those motherfuckers. We're about to get into the holidays and shit. You know, Aunt Melda, who brings up that stale ass fruitcake and shit like that. You know, don't even put rum in it. The fuck are you doing, Aunt Zelda? You fucking tell you get her to fucking work the interwebs and shit like that because she knows how to dye her hair. She knows how to fucking put on the fucking silky stockings and shit like that, making it all weird and shit, and having weird thoughts about stuff in Aunt Zelda's turkey and shit like that. You might be from Kentucky when you're doing it, but I digress. But yeah, fucking go ahead and like, share, and subscribe.
Give credit where credit is due. God damn it!
Don't look at my fucking credit because it sucks.
Like, share, and subscribe, homie. Let it be known. Like, share, and subscribe because it is what it is. We are kicking mad game, and y'all are picking it up and eating it up because it's facts.
Yep.
Facts.
I just kicked fucking Candyland, and my dog's eating that shit up. So we kicked the game and we ate it up.
Yeah. Stop hating, like, share, and subscribe. My boy over there is according to Woods. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Oh, by the way, this weekend at 10 a.m., join us for the one and only Shohei Yamamoto in the house. We finally got Shohei Yamamoto, and he will be with us 10 a.m. So make sure y'all tune in and let it be known. Hey, Shohei doesn't really do interviews. You know what I mean? Even before we could get him, it took a while. We had to try over and over again. This man is a respectable Japanese fella, and he's all about Bushido. He doesn't BS. I mean, wait. You know what? We're not gonna give you any. Just wait. Tune in.
Yeah.
Saturday, 10 a.m. Then you'll get all the Shohei Yamamoto that you can. You will see.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the thing, right? He is a disciple of one Josh Warmaster Barnett and a teammate of a gentleman who's making his UFC debut in Victor Henry. So again, you're going to get insight that you never probably would have got right before, literally an hour or two before Victor Henry makes his UFC debut. So I'm just saying, if that doesn't sell you, I fucking don't know what to tell you, man.
Hey, all those side notes are great and all, but the Shohei Yamamoto story is inspiring, and I cannot wait to share his story with the world, man. He's an awesome individual. From the very first time I met him, I knew that dude right there is special. But his story will make you respect him.
Damn right. So Shohei, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's 1 a.m. Eastern. What is it? 11 Central. And I don't know, Micmac in Australia. I don't know how that shit works out. It's all weird. You guys are fucking grilling kangaroos and shit. So I'm just saying. But again, like, share, and subscribe to Voodoo in the Woods, right? You can find us on Facebook and YouTube at Voodoo in the Woods. You can also find us on bodyslam.net and also the Twitter page. So we're on Twitter too. So go ahead, like, share, and subscribe to Voodoo in the Woods podcast. And we will see you not just 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time Saturday, right before the UFC, But also Sunday, we're gonna break this shit all down for you yet again. We're doing the good work so you don't have to. So sit back, relax, take off your pants and jacket. Unless you're a fucking offender, don't take that shit off. But we will see you later with more Voodoo in the Woods.